How do you replace yourself from the day-to-day operations? Look, I think it's safe to say that every business owner dreams of the day that they can finally step out of the day-to-day grind and step into the role of true leadership. But here's the thing, most owners, they never get there. You know why? Because the business depends on them. They've got to approve everything. They got to answer everything. They got to fix everything. They carry everything and they tell themselves, I'll step out once things calm down. Look, but here's the truth. Things are never going to calm down. That is a lie. They are never going to calm down until you change the way that you operate. You've got to replace yourself in the day-to-day operations. And this is not a fantasy. This is a skill and this is a process. Now, today, I'm going to walk you through exactly how you can do this so that your business runs smoothly without you having to be the fuel that keeps everything alive. So, first thing you got to do is you have to shift your identity. If you truly, and this is a truly thing, if you truly want to replace yourself in the day-to-day operations, you've got to stop identifying yourself as the operator and start actually identifying yourself as the owner. See, operators, they do the work. Owners design the work. Operators ask, hey, how do I get this done? Owners ask, who is the best person to handle this? See the difference? Now, if you want to step out, you must be the person that is no longer the hero and start being the person who's the architect. Your job is no longer to fix everything. Your job is to build the structure that fixes things without you. Now, how do you do this? You've got to document everything that you touch. See, if the business depends on your memory, you're never going to be able to step out. So what do? Kind of simple. You write down everything that you do, every task, every step, every decision, every routine. And this becomes your operations Bible, your standard operating procedure or SOP. Ask yourself, if I were to disappear for 30 days, could somebody follow this manual and keep the business running? If the answer is no, well, the answer is you're not replaceable yet. And your business should run on paper, not on you. So documenting creates clarity. It creates consistency. And consistency creates foundation. So you've got to learn how to install the systems that remove you from the equation. And once everything is documented, now you turn it into a system, right? A system is simply a repeatable, it's predictable, consistent way to achieve the same outcome over and over again. You got systems for sales, systems for customer service. You even have systems for scheduling and communication. And guess what? You have systems for conflict resolution, for fulfillment. Systems give your team what? It gives them a playbook. It gives them a playbook so that you no longer have to be the person who remembers everything, does everything, or you think that you're the hero and you need to solve everything. Basically what I'm saying is a system replaces you. By giving your team the structure that they need to win without you, you now are able to empower a leader to take over operations. And you now can truly step out. You need at least one person who acts as your operational right hand. I've said this many, many times. This is someone who owns the day-to-day operations, right? They make decisions, they handle issues, and they lead the team. But here's the thing, there's more to this. Here's the key. You don't just hand them the tasks. You know what you do? You hand them outcomes. You tell them what does success look like, and then you give them the process, the authority, and you let them lead. Because this is where most owners fail. They hire leaders, but guess what they don't do? They don't actually let them lead. Replacing yourself requires trust. It requires support, communication, and most importantly, accountability. And if you build this relationship with this person correctly, Now you can finally step back and you can watch the business operate constantly with dependence not on you. So next thing you got to do is you've got to make sure you're making rules, right? If people constantly come to you for decisions, look, you don't have a business. You have adult daycare. Let's be real. Create decision filters. So here's an example. If the decision costs under X dollars, the team chooses. If it affects only one client, the manager decides. If it impacts cash flow, well, then maybe you get involved. See, what this does is this empowers the team. And more importantly, it's going to free you up from micro decisions that drain your time and your energy. Making decision rules give your team the confidence and they give you back your time. Now, letting go is tough. I know this firsthand, right? This is the final step. And here's the part that nobody likes to talk about. Replacing yourself, let's be honest, it means that you're letting go of your ego. And you now have to accept that someone else may do it differently. They may do it slower at first, but someone else may make mistakes. But remember, that is the cost of growth. That is the price of freedom. And that is actually the path to leadership. If you always are the one, and many of you are, step back in. You're always going to be needed. But if you stay out, guess what happens? Your team is going to rise. So at some point, you've got to let go of that perfection. You've got to realize that if they can do it 80% as good as you, that's good enough to go, right? Replacing yourself in day-to-day operations, it's not about working less at all. It's about building a machine that no longer requires you to function. And you do it by shifting your identity, by documenting the work, by systemizing the operations, empowering a leader, and building a decision-making rule book. Most importantly, letting go of control. And this is how you elevate from operator to actually being the owner. This is how you build freedom. This is how you climb to the next level of where you need to go. So if this is helpful, drop a comment below and tell me what's one thing that you need to replace yourself in first. And if you're ready and you want to build the systems and the leadership structure that makes you replaceable in the best way possible, join me inside my En Route business coaching program. I guarantee you, you're going to learn a lot more than you've ever learned by watching a video or reading a book. See you there.